Imagine a moment so unexpected that one tiny act of kindness could change two very different lives forever. Picture this: a brave 6-year-old girl offering her cherished sandwich to a world-weary stranger, only to spark a chain reaction that would heal hidden wounds and rekindle hope. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Timeless Stories. I'm thrilled to have you with us today. Where are you watching from? Let us know in the comments below, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel for more inspiring tales from around the globe. Now settle in as we journey into a heartwarming story of compassion and redemption. In a bustling yet humble neighborhood on the outskirts of a lively city, there lived a gentle little girl named Mia. At only 6 years old, Mia possessed an extraordinary depth of empathy. While other children spent their afternoons chasing playful butterflies or playing lively games of tag in the narrow alleys, Mia was captivated by the quieter, subtler details of life. Whether it was the soft rustling of leaves on a mild autumn day or the delicate play of light and shadow on the worn brick walls of her apartment block, she always noticed the small wonders that many overlooked. Mia lived with her devoted mother, Sarah, in a modest apartment in the neighborhood of Greendale. Although life had never been lavish for them, their tiny home overflowed with warmth, laughter, and the unspoken promise of love. Sarah worked tirelessly, often juggling more than one job to keep their household afloat, yet she never missed an opportunity to teach Mia about the power of kindness. Even the smallest act of compassion can transform someone's day, or even their life, Sarah would often say, her eyes twinkling with hope. This simple mantra was etched deep in Mia's heart, shaping her gentle spirit. Miles away, far beyond the familiar streets of Greendale, lived a man whose public persona was adored by millions, yet his heart bore a hidden, silent sorrow. Keanu Reeves, known for his illustrious film career and his unassuming nature, was grappling with the burdens of fame. Behind the accolades and the bright lights of Hollywood, Keanu felt an overwhelming loneliness that no amount of success could dissipate. The ceaseless buzz of paparazzi, relentless public expectations, and the haunting memories of personal loss had left him yearning for peace, a peace that seemed ever so elusive. In search of solace, Keanu decided to step away from the relentless glare of the city and retreat to a quieter life. He packed a small bag, powered down his ever-demanding phone, and embarked on a journey that led him to a quaint, picturesque town named Riverton. In Riverton, no one recognized him as the celebrated star. Here, he was just another soul in search of healing. He rented a humble cabin on the outskirts and soon found comfort in the simple rhythms of daily life. Each morning, he took his favorite seat on an old weathered bench in the town park, where the gentle murmur of a nearby brook in the golden cascade of autumn leaves provided a soothing backdrop to his troubled thoughts. Sipping his coffee as he observed the delicate interplay of nature, Keanu hoped that the calm of Riverton would silence the storm raging inside him. One crisp autumn afternoon, as the town prepared for the gentle embrace of evening, fate had a gentle surprise in store. Mia and Sarah had ventured to Riverton's charming park after school. The park, framed by towering oak trees and dotted with clusters of blooming chrysanthemums, was alive with the soft rustling of leaves and the distant laughter of children playing. On a sunlit bench under the canopy of a grand old maple, Sarah unpacked a small picnic. Amid the simple spread, Mia's favorite treat, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich wrapped in wax paper, sat prominently in a small box. The aroma of fresh bread and sweet jam mingled with the crisp air, creating an almost magical moment of simplicity. As they savored the quiet joy of their little outing, Mia's bright eyes wandered across the park. There, sitting alone on another bench near a winding path, was a man whose presence seemed to carry the weight of the world. His posture was slouched, his eyes hidden behind dark sunglasses, and his shoulders bore the invisible burden of sorrow. Something about his isolation tugged at Mia's heart. Remembering her mother's gentle words about the power of kindness, Mia felt an unshakable resolve to help him. "Mom," Mia whispered, tugging lightly at Sarah's sleeve. "That man over there looks so sad. Do you think he might need some kindness?" Sarah followed her daughter's gaze, and for a moment, the bustle of the park seemed to fade into silence. "Perhaps he's just having a rough day," Sarah replied softly, offering a reassuring smile. yet she could see the earnest concern in Mia's eyes. Before Sarah could change her mind, Mia's determination shone through. "Can I share my sandwich with him?" she asked, her voice steady and sincere. Sarah hesitated only for a brief moment. Though every morsel of food was precious in their modest life, the purity of Mia's desire to do good was irresistible. With a gentle nod, Sarah said, "Yes, sweetheart. Go ahead." Mia skipped eagerly across the path, her small feet pattering on the cobblestones, until she stood before the solitary man. In that instant, the bustling park, the rustling leaves, and the distant laughter faded into the background. The moment was purely about human connection. "Hi," Mia said in a soft, clear voice, as she extended the neatly wrapped sandwich toward him. Startled, the man, Keanu Reeves, lifted his head slowly, his eyes meeting the unblemished gaze of a child whose innocence radiated pure kindness. "Hello," he replied, his voice low and gravelly from months of solitude. "You look like you could use a little something to brighten your day," Mia continued, her smile as warm and genuine as the afternoon sun. "This is my favorite sandwich." Keanu stared at the small offering in his hand, his mind swirling with disbelief and gratitude. A simple peanut butter and jelly sandwich, presented with such unreserved care, had reached deep into his guarded heart. He accepted the gift with both hands, murmuring, "Thank you," as if those two words could capture the enormity of his feeling. After a moment, Mia, satisfied with her act of kindness, turned and skipped back to her mother, leaving Keanu to reflect on the unexpected warmth of her gesture. As he sat back on the bench, cradling the sandwich as if it were a precious relic, he found himself smiling, an expression that had been a stranger to him for far too long. In the days that followed, that small, compassionate act began to work its quiet magic. Keanu, who had come to Riverton in search of solace, found his heavy heart lightening bit by bit. Each morning on his favorite bench, as he sipped his coffee and watched the golden leaves drift by, he would think of Mia's gentle smile and the simple truth behind her action. It was a reminder that in the midst of hardship, even the smallest act of kindness could kindle hope. 3 days later, back in Greendale, Sarah was flipping through a local magazine when her eyes widened in disbelief. There, on a candid snapshot capturing an unguarded moment of reflective solitude, was the man from the park. "Mia, come here," she called, her voice trembling with a mixture of astonishment and pride. Mia hurried over, peeking over Sarah's shoulder to see the familiar face. "Is that the man I gave my sandwich to?" she asked in hushed awe. "Yes, dear," Sarah explained, her voice soft yet filled with wonder. "It says here that it's Keanu Reeves, taking a break from his hectic life in the city to find peace in a quiet town." Mia's eyes grew wide with amazement. "He's really famous?" she asked, barely able to contain her excitement. "Very famous," Sarah replied, wrapping an arm around her daughter. "But you treated him just like any person who needed a little kindness?" News of the small act of generosity spread quietly, like ripples across a still pond, reaching Keanu in unexpected ways. Deeply moved by the memory of Mia's simple yet profound gesture, Keanu felt a renewed sense of purpose. He was determined to express his gratitude in a manner that would honor the innocence and strength of that moment. After discreet inquiries around Riverton, Keanu managed to discover where Mia and Sarah lived. A week after that memorable day in the park, on a cool, clear evening, there was a soft knock at the door of their modest apartment in Greendale. Sarah opened the door, and standing there was none other than Keanu Reeves himself, his presence humble and his smile gentle. In his arms, he carried a small basket filled with an assortment of fine chocolates and little tokens of appreciation. "Good evening," Keanu said warmly, his eyes conveying a sincerity that words alone could not capture. "I've come to see Mia." Mia peeked around the door, her face lighting up with a mixture of surprise and delight. "You're the sandwich man," she exclaimed, her voice a joyful melody. Keanu knelt to her level, meeting her eyes with genuine warmth. "Yes, I am," he replied softly, "and I've come to thank you properly. Your kindness has reminded me that even in the darkest times, a single light can ignite hope." Sarah invited him in for a cup of tea, and as they sat together in their cozy living room, a genuine conversation unfolded. Keanu shared his story of the burdens of fame, the hidden loneliness, and how, in a quiet park far away, A small act of kindness had made him feel seen and valued once more. He spoke of the healing power of human connection and how sometimes the universe speaks to us in the simplest of ways. Moved by the depth of his sincerity, Sarah and Mia listened intently, each word resonating with their own experiences of struggle and hope. As the evening wore on, laughter and gentle conversation replaced the earlier quiet solemnity, creating an atmosphere of shared understanding and mutual upliftment. Before taking his leave that night, Keanu reached into his coat pocket and withdrew a small envelope. "I'd like you both to have this," he said, handing it to Sarah. "Consider it a token of my gratitude, a way to help you on your journey. It's a small gesture compared to the enormous gift you've given me." Later, as the envelope was opened by Sarah in the soft glow of the living room lamp, they discovered that inside was a check substantial enough to cover their pressing financial needs, enough to secure a stable future, and even help fund Mia's education. Overwhelmed with gratitude, Sarah embraced her daughter, tears glistening in her eyes as she whispered, "See, Mia, your kindness has come back to us in ways we never imagined." Keanu Reeves eventually returned to his life in Hollywood, but the experience in Riverton and that transformative day in the park stayed with him. In interviews and quiet moments alike, he would speak of a little girl with a big heart whose simple act of sharing a peanut butter and jelly sandwich had restored his faith in human goodness. He became an advocate for kindness, urging everyone he met to remember that even the smallest gesture can have rippling effects, capable of touching lives far beyond what we might ever foresee. And so, the story of Mia and the sandwich became a beacon of hope for many. It taught us that no matter how challenging life may seem, kindness and compassion are the threads that weave us together, reminding us of our shared humanity. Simple acts of generosity are not just fleeting moments. They are powerful gestures that can transform sorrow into solace and loneliness into connection. So, dear viewers, what do you take away from Mia's courageous act of kindness? Can you recall a time when a small gesture made a big difference in your life? Reflect on this tale, share your thoughts in the comments below, and consider spreading kindness in your own unique way today. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe to Timeless Stories for more narratives that inspire, uplift, and remind us all of the extraordinary power of compassion. Let's work together to make the world a little brighter, one kind act at a time. Remember, in a world that can sometimes feel overwhelming, kindness costs nothing and yet means everything. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Until next time, keep shining your light and spreading hope wherever you go.